guys, Tasha here. I am coming at you guys with another blog post, but this one is very special to me because this is something that I absolutely love to do. So today we'll be discussing how to create your own unit study, and it's easier than you think. I just so happened to make for you guys a unit study planner. I'll have it listed down below so that you can see it, and I'll even put it up on the screen. I'll put it up here so you can get a good view of it. It is 3 pages. The first page comes with the unit study planner cover page. And notice that I did leave space here because I know that sometimes us moms, we like to get that special cut so that we can insert them into a book or hole punch if you're using a 3-ring binder. And this 3-ring binder I got from the Dollar Tree. Also refer to that Dollar Tree video blog post that I made with my husband, because you can get a lot of good homeschool stuff from there if you want to save money. Everything that I'm going to tell you guys about, everything I'm discussing, I'm going to be referring to these pages because this is how I plan my unit study. And again, I'll have listed on the screen right here for you guys as well, because I know you can't see everything. So it's okay. It should be right here as we speak. So if you look at the top, it has this unit, it has the weeks covered, your book list, materials, extras. We're gonna go through all that, okay? You even get a second page that I created to do your week by week. This unit study makes it so easy for you to plan your own unit. If you're using a different unit study planner, by all means go ahead. But these printables are nice because you don't have to buy an entire book. You only get what you need. A lot of times, most parents opt to not do unit studies for the entire year, while some live on homeschooling using unit studies. Unit studies is all they use, and it's a good idea too. So unit studies are a way for you to take a break from the whole usual, okay? So if your student gets tired and they're tired of school and you're tired of teaching this, I'm going to show you how to plan your unit study so you're covering the subjects that need to be covered and you can take a break. With that being said, let's get started. So step 1, after you get your unit pages and things ready, your notebook, whatever you're going to use to plan your unit with, you want to decide how long you want to be covering this unit. Do you want it to be a few weeks? Do you want it to be a month? Do you want it to be 2 months? Do you want to do it for a quarter? The longer span that you have for the unit, the more materials that you're going to need to plan, because you're going to need to be able to get 3 months, 1 month, or even 2 weeks worth of materials out of that one unit. If you're doing a big unit, you want to make the unit broad enough where you can find as many materials and things that you need so that you're not covering things over and over and over. You want to be careful when you're thinking about how long you want your unit to last and everything that you want to cover. One thing you don't want to do is overdo it, okay? Unless you love long hour days, 8-hour days, you don't want to plan too many activities in one day. If you find yourself having a lot of activities to do with your unit study, you may think about expanding your unit study out a few more days so that you can get the things that you want to do. If you've planned a lot of activities or you see a lot of things that you want to cover and it looks so fun, maybe your 1 month unit study can turn into a month and a half or 2 months. You see what I'm saying? So you just want to be careful. And that's why the most important step 1, is to make sure you know how long you want to cover your unit. And so here you will put right here your weeks covered. In this box right here at the top, you want to put how many weeks this is going to cover, okay? And so now step 2 is you and your kids are going to choose the books that you want to use for this unit study. Remember, this is a literature-based unit study, okay? So you're using a book. The main thing about choosing your main book is making sure that your book is going to be readily available. If you get a book that you want to use for your unit study that's going to last over a month, you kind of don't want to have to check that out of the library. Now, if you're doing online library, there may be a difference in the materials that you get to use and the resources that you get to have. But you want to choose one main book. Let me give you guys an example. This year, we are doing our bird unit study, and I'll insert a picture right there. I made printables and planner sheets for our bird unit study right here. And the main book that I plan to use is a book from my book list. The next blog post that I'm currently working on is our book list for this year. And one of the main books that I'm using that I'll show you guys in my next blog post is this book, God's Big Book of Animals, right here. I'm trying to get it out of the ring light for you guys a little. There you go, there you go, there you go. And I'll also have this listed below for you guys who are interested in my next blog post, not today. Today, I just want to teach you guys how to create your own unit study. In my next blog post, I'll have this book listed down below. But the reason why I want to use this book is because it goes into detail about birds. It has, well, it almost fell on my face. It has bird and facts and bird after bird after bird. These pages are gorgeous, by the way, and I tell you guys that in my next blog post. We explore it in more detail. But this is what we're gonna do, and we're gonna use this as our main book, okay? So that is gonna go on the book list part. Now you wanna explore your book for ideals that you can do for your unit study, what all you can cover. And so you'll use these boxes right here. I explain everything in more detail down below. So this is the video, but there's a briefing. I always like to do a briefing to every homeschool video that I make because I think it's very helpful. To have a video is one thing, but to actually have something you can read or print and put in your hands is a whole nother thing. So here you're gonna look at your unit study sheet. You have right here your book list. You're gonna write down the books that you're gonna use, and you have your materials and your extras. So you're gonna think, what other books can I use to cover this? What other books can you use to cover, I don't know, for me it'll be birds. For you it could be anything. What other books do you want? You put all of that right here. What materials would you need for this? What materials will you need for your projects and activities? What kind of projects can you get out of your unit study? You want to get those materials. You want to think as you're searching through here, you want to start thinking, what can I get out of this? You also want to look at how many chapters you want to cover a day. If you're reading a literature book, okay, so if you're doing a literature-based unit study, because this is my main book, okay, this is my literature. Going through here, how many chapters do you want to cover? In this book, even though we're doing birds, they have insects. So I can cross over if I so desire and be like, okay, what insect do these birds eat? You see? So this has a whole table of contents with everything in here that I can get out. In your book list, you want to write down the chapters that you're going to cover. You want to write down the page numbers of those chapters so that when you're referring to those chapters, if you have older kids, they can go to those chapters and they can read them and get the information from them. If you're going to do unit studies for younger kids, which is a great idea in the elementary school years, to do unit studies for younger kids because you're changing your subjects and your units constantly and it keeps them entertained. A lot of times when you're trying to teach young kids like kindergartners, first graders, even second graders, sometimes out of one curriculum, they can be bored very fast during the year. So one of the things that I love to do is create a unit study, 2 or 3, that I can put inside of our curriculum when the kids get tired. So that is a tip that you can do when it comes to teaching younger kids because of their attention span. Some things just get really boring to them and they need to just do something else. And you can use a good unit study like this to cover all the subjects that they need. Let's keep going, okay? The next thing you want to put down is any extras. So let's say you got your book list and let's say you want to do some extra projects. If you go back to my blog post, I found some unit studies at the dollar store. So unit study helps at the dollar store. Those will be extras that I can add in, that I can use. Projects that's already fit for me to do, that's already done. And all I gotta do is bring them out and have the kids do them or group them together. Those are good things to put in your extras. So again, you have this unit, and mine would say birds. You have the weeks covered, and I plan to cover at least 3 weeks. So I will put 3 weeks. I have my book list. Here are some other books that I will be using. Discovering God's World. I simply, and you can do this too for your unit study, go through the contents and take out what you want your kids to explore in detail. So instead of going by a schedule of how this is designed for like 35 weeks, take your curriculum books and choose a subject that you want to cover and make it into a unit study. Look for all the books that you're going to be using to create your unit study. And for me, I will be using these books because I'm making a 3-week unit study. the more weeks that you're going to cover, you just want to make sure you have the resources for it. You can totally cover 3 weeks, even a month with just these books right here, if you know how to work it. So the next thing that we're going to do is we're going to look for the subjects that's covered. So again, we get into the subjects, and if you can't see this, I'll have it right here for you guys. We're going to see what subjects can I cover. So that is actually step 4. Step 4 is what subjects will I cover. So again, step 3 is listed down below. All the steps, again, I have made a video brief for you. Everything is listed down below. So let's go to step 4, and it's what subjects can I cover? Can I cover language arts? Can I cover art? Can I cover spelling? Can I cover writing, science, history, math? And can I include a life skill? Because again, I have to remind parents that homeschooling also means teaching your kids life skills, things they do not learn at school, like doing their chores, folding, all those things, watering the garden, going for a walk, I don't know, planting. These are life skills that kids need that are not taught in schools. So let's see what I can cover. I know for a fact that I can cover writing. I can cover language arts right away because of the research that my kids are going to be doing and writing down in their bird study unit. I'll put that right here. And also, if you haven't read my blog post on notebooking, I'll have that listed down below because that is so important when you're doing unit studies. They need a notebook to document the research, to take pictures, to get photographs, just collect things. I wrote an exquisite blog post on that. Check it down below if you have not checked it out already. And so I also know for a fact that I'm going to be covering history. We can trace back in history to when the toucan was first discovered, who discovered it, where is it located at. We can also do geography with that. As I go through the book, I'm going to be taking out spelling words. Now the trick with the spelling words is that on your extras, you can write spelling words that you're going to be doing for the entire unit. And one thing's important about this printable is that you can print front and back, so that if you need more space, if your unit gets really big, one page probably won't suffice of your resources, because this is just your resource page. This is a page that you're going to use to plan out your unit study week by week. So this is a week by week page, and this is the ultimate resource page. So this is very important because this page is the page that you want to keep throughout the years so that you can refer back to this unit study if you decide to do it later, or you want to add something to it, or you want to take your unit studies and make a unit study book out of it for your family, or to offer to other homeschooling parents by selling it maybe from your website online, or maybe giving it to another homeschool parent. You can do whatever you want. So for your extras on the back, you can write your spelling list, because it's very important that you be able to cover spelling. Remember, a good unit study is a unit study that crosses over. And I'll say that once, and I think I said it down below as well. And that's just about it. All you want to know is that what else could you cover? What can cross over into this unit? What more can I use this book for? And as you go through your book, all your subjects that you will cover will be listed right here. So you can cover, let's say, writing, language arts, spelling, history, geography. You can even try to put in a life skill here. You can just about cover any amount of subjects in your unit study. The next thing you want to do is look at your resources. What resources do I need to meet, and what am I planning? Do you need videos? Do you need movies, your clips, field trips, online resources, etc.? You want to put all your resources here that you're going to use. If you're going to use a movie, put the title of the movie and where you can find it. I find that it's best to plan out every aspect of what you're going to do. Don't just write movie, and don't just write the title, because what if you forget exactly what it is? You want to know where to find it. So if you're using a movie from your own resources, use it. If you're using a YouTube video, you want to put YouTube video, the name of the video, the channel that it's on, so that you know where you can find it when it's time for you to use that video. I find it very helpful to do that. So that's why I made this box right here, your online resources. And again, if you need another page, you can go ahead and print back to front, depending on the size of your unit study. If you want to start off with just doing 2 weeks, you can easily just use this page by itself and you can cover 2 weeks of unit planning on this one page. Now it's time for us to plan our unit study week by week, and we'll be using page 2. I'll show you guys what that looks like right here on the side of the film. But basically you have your unit and topics covered. So you're going back to this unit and you're looking at the main unit and any topics underneath the unit. I have an example below for you guys. If you can refer down below, you'll see what I'm talking about. But you take that sub-unit under your main unit and you write it right here where it says unit topics covered. So this would be for the first week. This page you print week by week for the topics that you're going to cover. So if you're covering 2 weeks worth of unit studies, you would print out 2 of these because you want to now plan each week extensively after putting all your resources and everything you need for your unit on this page. So you're taking this page and you're looking at your books, chapters, and pages, and you're breaking them up from your book list. So this week I want to use, let's say this book. I'm going to use this book this week. Which chapters am I covering? What pages am I covering? What materials do I need this week for the project? So I look right here and see what I've gotten. These are the materials that I needed to do my main projects with. So for this week, let's say I'm doing a project on making a penguin. So I'm gonna need construction paper. So I'm gonna write that this week we're making a penguin. I'm gonna need black and white construction paper, maybe some orange for the beak. Whatever materials that you need for your projects, you would put them here. And over here, you're gonna put your resources. So you're going to look at your resource page, your main unit study planning page, and you're going to see, okay, what are the resources that I chose that I could use for this week under that topic of my unit study. And you're going to write your resources down. So if you had a video, you would write down the name of the video again and where you can find it for the week so that you don't have to keep referring back to the main planning, right? This is your main unit planning for the entire 2 weeks, the entire month, or the entire 3 months, because some people like to do units in quarters, and that's, you could use one of these too, but you're probably going to need more than one. So that's why when I made the printables, I made it sustainable so that you can print as many as you want, black and white, and plan out your units. I try to make it as easy as possible. And if you have another week that you're doing, you want to put the week up here. So this will be week 1. And week 1 is going to cover 4 days, so I'll put 4 days. Sometimes you don't need to cover 4 days. Maybe you want to do the unit study maybe 2 or 3 days out of the week, in which case you'll put 3 days, and here you would circle the days. So let's say I'm going to do this unit for 3 days. I'm going to circle Monday, Wednesday, and Friday because I'm going to break it up. So some other days I'm going to be just getting down into regular curriculum stuff. And then 3 other days, I will be doing this unit study. So on those days, I'll write that down so that determines what you'll need. So maybe for Monday, I want to cover this chapter, this book, whatever it is, a chapter in a book. I want to cover these pages. I also have my spelling list. So yes, that will go right here. Your assignments this week, what spellings will you be getting into this week? Let's say you chose like 10 words out of the book. So you definitely want to have the book that you're using and the spelling words listed somewhere down below. You can write the spelling list down below, or you can, again, back in front of the page, and you can put your spelling list. The next thing that we're going to look at right here is the subjects covered this week. So what subjects do we need to cover this week? We've already found our books and chapters and pages. We got our materials. We got our resources listed below. Now we get into the subjects covered this week. What am I covering? Am I covering language arts? That's a given when you have a literature-based unit study. You're going to be covering language arts. You're going to be covering spelling. You're going to be covering writing. Those are given. Those are just parts of language arts. But what about science? What can I cover in science? If you're doing something on an animal or cooking, there's food science or anything, there's always a crossover. How to build your own curriculum blog post that I did very extensive research, and I told you guys everything that I was using and how you can just pretty much create your own curriculum. So refer back to that blog post for the ultimate ideas. But here we're just covering creating a unit study. And again, you can create the unit study to go with that curriculum that I told you guys about in my last blog post. So don't forget to check that out. It has an abundance of information and every resource that you need on that blog page. Also, my all-in-one blog post for homeschooling has a great assortment of resources, and I've also given to you everything that you need in your hands to create your own curriculum and how you can use an all-in-one curriculum for every grade. So again, when you're planning unit studies and you have a kindergarten, a third grader, a fourth grader, a fifth grader, sixth grader, I have the details written down below, but you want to take that all into mind. I would say take that all into mind when you're creating this, because you want to make sure that you create a unit that's versatile for more than one kid. So if you refer back to my last blog post as well, I told you about the supplements. So you can use any supplement and you can put it here for whatever is not covered. So if you're not going to cover writing this week because you want to get into more activities and more projects, then you would just put, I'm not covering writing, so maybe you want to give them a writing assignment. If you're not going to have math this week, you can write, I'm not going to be able to cover math, and give them a math assignment. So that way when you're going through this week, you know everything that you need to know that you have to cover for this week and everything that you're not going to be able to cover this week. And that's it, guys. It's just easy as that. Grab your materials and then grab your week's unit and get started. When you have something like this, it just makes your life a lot easier to plan the whole unit and then to do your week by week, and you can easily dive in no matter what happens. You can dive in and you can cover everything you need to cover using a few books. I do look forward to knowing what you guys have created. You can email me down below or you can leave me a comment down below. So I am going to get back to working on my classroom, and if you guys want to see what my classroom is going to look like this year, it's going to be a lot different than last year. Check out our family blog. I also post my blog post and my family blog on our website as well. You can check us out in the menu up above where it says family vlogs. And also our YouTube channel is also on the menu right there, right underneath it, and you can see what our classroom is going to look like, and that will be coming soon, and it will be in our family blog. So I've listed the examples down below of everything we're going to be using, and I'll see you guys in my next blog post. Bye.